Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy, and this report is about WWE Monday Night Raw. Backlash from Night of Champions. Let's see. Some of the Buffalo Bill players were in attendance at last night's Night of Champions pay-per-view in Buffalo, New York. On a related note, former WWE announcer Todd Grisham was in attendance at the Atlanta Falcons versus Philadelphia Eagles game in Atlanta. WWE referred to John Laurinaitis as Mr. Future Endeavors for the first time last night during the pay-per-view. Several fans noted that security was taking away a lot of signs last night at the pay-per-view, because when they went live, there were a lot of signs, and when they went to during the show, there wasn't very many signs being showed. Okay, after Beth Phoenix lost to Kelly Kelly in her hometown, there was a huge bullshit chant from the crowd for over a minute, maybe 2 minutes. WWE had Beth penciled in to actually win the Divas title for weeks, but obviously changed plans at the last minute. WWE has announced that the Muppets are coming to Raw on Halloween. Monday Raw. The Muppets crew will appear on the October 31st edition of Raw in Atlanta, Georgia. To read the full announcement, visit WWE.com. Get ready for some campy comedy on Halloween. This is about as PG as it gets. By the way, the Muppets appearance is to promote their movie, which opens on Thanksgiving. Okay. Edge, also known as real name, Adam Copeland, presented a scholarship for free pro wrestling training at the Square Circle Training School in Toronto. You can watch a video of Edge presenting the award at video.thescore.com. Well, previously Edge won a scholarship that got him started into pro wrestling, so it's cool to see him return the favor. The hand-picked winner of an essay contest and presented the award. That was Edge hand-picked the winner himself and presented the award, and it will be interesting to follow the winner, Alicia, to see whether Edge picked the right person. WWE Studios held a focus group session yesterday before the pay-per-view in Buffalo, New York. Prior to Night of Champions, the group screened footage of the upcoming John Cena film, The Reunion, and was subsequently asked for feedback. The group was also asked to fill out a survey. One question listed the bulk of the WWE roster, as asked participants to place a check mark next to the names of superstars he or she would like to see in an upcoming film. Despite his recent chance of not being promoted enough by WWE, CM Punk was noticeably not even on the ballot. Those attending the focus group session were paid $20. Mixed martial arts fighter Gina Carano was listed on the survey 3 times. The survey asked participants if her name was recognizable and if he or she would want to see her in an upcoming WWE Studios film. Nothing from that point of view on that. It was announced on Raw tonight that Randy Orton will use his rematch fall to face Mark Henry at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view in New Orleans, Louisiana in 2 weeks. Also noted, John Cena will defend the WWE Championship against Alberto Del Rio and CM Punk in a triple threat match. Like I said, a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view this year will take place Sunday, October the 2nd, one day after my birthday. I will take any birthday gifts through PayPal.com. Send it to TomCurJ@yahoo.com. Just send $1, whatever you want. And proceeds will go to better these videos here. Okay. Doug Batista was at the Raw show in Cleveland tonight, and he was passing the updates as Superstars was taping. Dark match saw Titus O'Neil and Percy Watson defeat Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex. They're putting them together. Wow. And your Superstars match, Alex Riley pinned Primo. Not much saying there. Riley won with a "you're dismissed" finisher. So he's not using his A-bomb finisher. Yes, he was asking fans on Facebook to name his new finisher. Fan chose A-bomb. Well, it's not being used. And match number 2 from the Raw brand was Mason Ryan defeating Drew McIntyre. Ryan used the Atom Bomb's old finisher. WWE has signed former Ring of Honor star, as I reported in yesterday's pay-per-view, Claudio Castagnoli, to a developmental deal, as he is now working as his FCW name is Antonio Cesaro in FCW. This led to a speculation about the status of his, Claudio's tag team partner Chris Hero. Word is that Hero is still going through the long process of signing a contract. Claudio happened to finish his paperwork and medical clearance ahead of Hero, so he's already began working for WWE already. Hero is still on WWE's radar, just going through the signing process. His debut in FCW will most likely happen soon, unless something comes up and they pull him straight to the main roster. On a related note, independent women's wrestler Brittany Knight, who is reportedly beginning with FCW soon under her WWE developmental deal, she's currently finishing up an independent booking such as Shimmer. She will be appearing at the, like I said, Shimmer tapings early in October. And Knight has received several WWE tryouts in the UK over the years. But get this, she's only 18 now. So if she was getting UK tryouts, she was getting the tryouts under the age. Well, I guess you can do them under the age, similar with Jeff Hardy. He started wrestling at 16. Okay. The 18-year-old is from the UK's famous Knight wrestling family. No word yet on when she will debut for FCW, but it will be before the end of the year. Just days ago, Shimmer announced Brittany Knight for the promotion's upcoming DVD tapings on October the 1st and October the 2nd in Berwyn, Illinois. According to PWInsider.com, Knight has signed a developmental deal with WWE, but will still honor her Shimmer commitments. WWE referee Scott Armstrong underwent x-rays this morning for what was to believed could be a broken, cracked, or bruised rib after taking an errant kick from R-Truth during the CM Punk vs. Triple H match at Night of Champions. He later indicated on Twitter that he would be sidelined for a few weeks. And here's what he was quoted by saying: "No Raw or SmackDown for me for a couple of weeks anyway. Thanks to Miz and R-Truth, assholes." Unquote. September 16th episode of WWE SmackDown featured the return of the Cutting Edge, garnered a 1.78 cable rating, which was a drop from the previous week of 1.9. SmackDown averaged 2.61 million viewers, which is down 10% from the previous week's score of 2.91 million viewers. On cable television Friday night, SmackDown ranked 12th in overall viewers. It appeared Kevin Nash was injured at Sunday night's pay-per-view after taking a sledgehammer shot to the head by Triple H during the Triple H vs. CM Punk main event. A WWE official checked on Nash and did the X hand sign over his head, indicating a legitimate injury. After speaking with a reliable WWE source, Nash is said to be fine and was just selling the sledgehammer shot. Kevin Nash will not be on Raw tonight. Instead, he has been sent to Los Angeles, California, today to be filming for his movie Magic Mike. The sledgehammer shot that Nash took from Triple H last night will be the explanation given by WWE as to why Nash won't be on Raw tonight from Cleveland, Ohio. And they did not mention anything about it on Raw. Okay, Legends pay-per-view. That was announced for later in October. Kevin Nash is seeking a new partner. And it looks to either be DDP, who was actually at the house show that they were at, being AWE. And this is the CEO, Martin Ward, who was Nash's current partner, has been ruled out of the main event of the October 15th night of Legends pay-per-view. It was confirmed today that Ward suffered 2 broken bones in his right forearm. The recovery time for such an injury is 4 to 6 weeks, meaning he will not be healed in time to take part in the Night of Legends show. Well, I'm wondering who this Marvin Ward is to be a legend anyways. Because according to this article, he hasn't wrestled in many years. And it'll explain to it as I go through it. Ward has been scheduled to team with Big Sexy Kevin Nash in a grudge match against the Rock and Roll Express at Night of Legends. Ward had planned the match to be his retirement match 14 years after his career was cut short by a devastating shoulder injury, put him on the shelf. Devastated is a good word to describe the word after learning he had been knocked off the match. And he's quoted by saying, "I worked my entire career to be able to work just one pay-per-view. I can't believe they took that chance away from me," Ward said. That he's speaking about is Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, who attacked Ward following a match at an AWE house show in Woodstock, Virginia on September 17th. The attack was retaliation for a chair shot delivered by Nash on Morton earlier in the show. AWE Commissioner Rick Garrison said today he will permit Nash to choose a replacement partner for Ward for the Night of Legends. Nash, in a statement to Awesome Wrestling Entertainment, that's AWE, said he will abide by his time trying to find a new partner. Speculation has already gotten underway about possible partners, focusing at the outset of Diamond Dallas Page, who was at the AWE house show where the incident took place, and former fellow NWO member Sean X-Pac Waltman. And again, AWE Night of Legends pay-per-view is October 15th. And now, what you've been waiting for is Monday Night Raw. Starts off, CM Punk's music hits, and we're live. CM Punk makes his way down to the ring. CM Punk gets on the mic and talks about how he has to agree with The Miz and R-Truth about conspiracy. Looks like we're going to have a Punk heel turn again. As there was a conspiracy going on in the WWE, Triple H's music hits, and he makes his way to the ring as Punk was still talking. He even said, "Hey, I'm still talking." Triple H says he is pretty beat up, but he is still COO. He then goes on to talk about last night's outcome. He says that CM Punk deserves a rematch that he deserves. Triple H announces that in 2 weeks the WWE title will be defended in a triple threat match. He goes on to deny being involved in a conspiracy in the WWE. Triple H takes off his jacket and says if he doesn't believe him, he has no problem in going back to war with him right now. CM Punk goes on to say that they don't like each other, and someone is using it to their advantage. Punk implies that person is higher up on the ladder. Out comes John Laurinaitis. They go back and forth on the mic. Laurinaitis fires Punk. Triple H stops him and says no, he's not. He does the firing around here. By the end of the night, someone's getting fired. Triple H says, then Triple H drops the mic and walks to the back. As John Laurinaitis is walking behind him like a shadow. JR talks about Mark Henry being world champion and says he will interview him tonight. Still to come, a big 8-man match to go, and they go to commercial. And your 8-man tag is David Otunga, Wade Barrett, Christian, and Michael McGillicuddy versus Sheamus, Kofi Kingston, Evan Bourne, and Justin Gabriel. Back from the break, and the match starts. Comes down to Bourne and McGillicuddy. Bourne gets a 2 count. McGillicuddy comes back, slams him hard with a big side slam, stops from McGillicuddy, and a tag to Otunga for some double teaming. Barrett comes in and continues the attack to Bourne, or on Bourne with another pin attempt. Christian comes in and drops Bourne with a right hand. Christian continues until Bourne takes him out with a high knee. Otunga gets the tag and works Bourne over until he tags in Sheamus. Sheamus goes at it with Otunga and taunts his partners on the apron. Sheamus hits the big backbreaker on Otunga for a 2. Everyone starts brawling in the ring. Kofi loops up top and hits a crossbody on Barrett. Sheamus shoots Christian and he flees the ring. Sheamus hits the bro kick on Otunga. Sheamus hits the Celtic cross on Otunga and pins him for the win. We see Triple H backstage talking to a referee who is concerned about his safety. Triple H tells him not to worry and to tell The Miz and R-Truth he wants to see him. Alberto Del Rio walks up pissed and tells Triple H he's the worst COO ever. Triple H talks about Del Rio's rematch. Del Rio says he needs to rest and prepare himself mentally and physically. Del Rio says he prays for Vince McMahon to return and run the place. Triple H says he's been inside a hell of a cell before, and Del Rio needs all the prayers he can get. Back to commercial to go. Next up is Alberto Del Rio versus Chomo. Not much of a match here, maybe a minute and a half. Back from the break, Ricardo Rodriguez begins the introduction as former WWE champion Alberto Del Rio comes driving in. As he got his car back, Del Rio heads to the ring and he's not happy. Out comes his opponent, Chomo. The bell rings and Del Rio unloads on Morrison. Del Rio beats him down. Morrison ducks the arm breaker and kicks Del Rio in the head. Del Rio comes back and goes over to work on Morrison's arm. Del Rio slaps on the arm breaker and taps. After the match, Del Rio kicks Morrison some more before heading up the ramp with Del Rio. Up next is tonight's host, Hugh Jackman. Yes, Wolverine. Back to commercial. Back from the break, Justin Roberts introduces actor Hugh Jackman. Jackman says he's excited to be here. He says hosting the Oscars was cool, but not like this. Jackman plugs his new movie and is interrupted by Vicky Guerrero. Out comes Vicky and United States Champion Dolph Ziggler. Well, I'm glad I missed most of this match because my feed from my TV went out on me. Digital cable even messes up just like satellite. So I had to go to internet, and it was getting even worse than the feed. Okay. Vicky enters the ring and says she is Hugh's biggest fan. She agrees with People magazine that he is the sexiest man alive. Vicky says Jackman must agree that she's the hottest WWE diva. Vicky introduces Dolph and calls him the hottest superstar in WWE. Dolph says he doesn't appreciate Jackman interrupting his time. Dolph says this should be a celebration because he's proved he's the greatest last night of champions. Dolph goes on and insults Cleveland for being the underdog city. Jackman says he loves underdogs. He's going to go backstage and find the biggest underdog to help him get a huge upset over Ziggler. Ziggler tells him to bring it on. A "We Want Ryder" chant breaks out. Jackman grabs a sign from the crowd that says Ryder Wolverine. Jackman leaves the ring running to the back. Miz and R-Truth arrive backstage, coming out of their vehicles. John Laurinaitis walks up and says Triple H wants to see him. Miz apologizes to Laurinaitis for their actions. Truth tells him to tell Triple H that they'll be right there. Back to commercial. Well, you got the advertised match was Sin Cara versus Cody Rhodes. Didn't even happen. Back from the break, and out comes Sin Cara, the original, it appears. Out next comes his opponent, Cody Rhodes, for his non-title match. Cody has his brown baggers with him once again. Cody enters the ring. Then the other Sin Cara music hit. Pyro goes off again, and the other Sin Cara appears on the stage. Other Sin Cara does his entrance and springboards into the ring. They circle each other, both pointing, saying they're the real one. Cara one bows his head and then attacks the other. They go back and forth, trading moves, but there's not much reaction from the crowd. One of the Caras gets drop kicked out of the ring. The other acts like he's going to attack from the top rope, but drops to one knee and bows his head. Cara looks on from the ring as the other Cara backs up the ramp. Then we see Triple H backstage with the Miz and R-Truth walked in. Miz is apologetic and says he should have never put his hands on a referee. Miz said he should never have interfered in Triple H's match and says he's sorry. Truth apologizes to Triple H. He also apologized to WWE Universe and all the little Jimmies. They have realized the errors of their ways and think Triple H is doing a hell of a job as COO and won't do anything like that again. Triple H talks about hitting them with a big fine and how he should fire them. He puts them in a tag match against CM Punk and John Cena tonight. Triple H tells them to get the hell out of his office, and the big fine is $250,000. Well, that is your average pay for a WWE superstar for 1 year. So they've been fined for 1 year's pay. Storyline, probably. Okay, back when they come back from the break from that little segment, Teddy Long is leaving the ring for some reason. JR is ready for his interview and informs everyone that Randy Orton has invoked his rematch clause and faced Mark Henry in Hell in a Cell. Ross introduces the new World Heavyweight Champion, Mark Henry, and out he comes. Ross congratulates Henry and asks him how it feels to prove the naysayers wrong. Henry says Ross is one of those naysayers. Henry says he will deal with the haters in a minute, but right now he wants to talk about Hell in a Cell. Henry says he's never been in one, but he gave Randy hell last night, and he will do it again. Henry says he is a world champion, and no man is going to take what he's got. Henry says he will never forgive JR and the fans because nobody ever supported him or believed in him. Henry says JR is going to apologize tonight on behalf of the fans. Then he's going to apologize to him. Henry says everyone knows JR wanted Vince McMahon to fire him because he was injury prone and an overachiever. Henry holds up the world title and he says he has nothing because everything is right there. Henry gives JR the chance to apologize, and he does as the crowd boos. Henry says he hates ass kissers and grabs JR by his tie. Get this, Daniel Bryan was fired for choking a guy with a tie. Well, Mark Henry grabbed a guy with a tie too. And being that he's champion, he won't get fired. Henry brings JR to one knee. JR tells Henry he is hurting him. Jerry Lawler enters the ring and asks Henry to let go. Henry finally pushes JR away and grabs Lawler. Henry says Lawler is going to take JR's place. Lawler hits Henry with a right hand, but Henry drops him to the mat. Henry hits Lawler with the world's strongest slam and throws him out of the ring. Henry takes apart the announcer's table and throws Lawler over it. Henry lifts Lawler and slams him through the table with WSS, World's Strongest Slam. Henry grabs the world title and walks off as officials attend to Lawler. and the crowd boos. Back to commercial. Well, apparently my feed hadn't came back, but when it finally came back, and it came to where the announcer's table was sitting, it looked like it was just pressed down, and the front of it was bent up. So apparently it wasn't staged to fall. Okay. As they went back, they went to commercial there. Back from the break, Jerry Lawler is being helped to the back. Josh Matthews and Michael Cole play up the seriousness of Mark Henry's attack. And, yep, Kelly and Eve Torres versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya. In a tag match, it goes right to the ring. Out comes Eve Torres with a Diva champion Kelly. Out comes next is Natalya and Beth Phoenix. Beth and Kelly start things off. Beth controls until Kelly kicks her in the gut. Kelly with a head scissors takedown and attack to Eve. Eve goes at it with Beth and kicks her in the head. Beth drops Eve with a big boot and drags her to the corner. Natalya comes in for some double teaming for two. Eve fights Beth on the apron and Natalya in the corner. Eve sidesteps Natalya and rolls her up for the surprise win. Winners Kelly and Eve Torres. Again, I'm glad I didn't even see the match. Backstage, we see Hugh Jackman talking to Zack Ryder. Jackman says Ryder isn't an underdog. He's delusional and out of his mind. He's perfect. Jackman gets the Ryder pumped up as they head off to the ring. Still to come, tonight's main event, Miz and R-Truth versus Punk and Cena. Back to commercial they go. Back from the break, Michael Cole leads us into a preview for Jackman's new movie, Real Steel. Get this, during the pay-per-view last night, Michael Cole had lost his voice. Well, I guess he found it, and he was broadcasting tonight's Raw. And internet reports were saying that he may not even make it to SmackDown. Well, never mind. Okay, and the match is up next. Zack Ryder versus Dolph Ziggler. They go to the ring where Vicky Guerrero waits with the WWE United States Champion Dolph Ziggler. Out next comes his opponent, Zack Ryder with Hugh Jackman, who is wearing a broski headband. Bell rings and Ryder gets an early 2 count off of a roll-up. Crowd chants for Ryder as Dolph backs into the corner. Ryder turns around and beats Ziggler down. Ryder with a kick to the face and a 2. Ziggler super kicks Ryder, sending him to the mat. Ziggler stomps away and picks Ryder up for a neck breaker. Ziggler runs his mouth to Jackman, allowing Ryder to roll him up for a 2. Ziggler comes back with a 2 count of his own and takes Ryder to the mat with a headlock. Ryder fights back, but Ziggler takes back control. Ziggler slaps Ryder around in the corner, but runs into a big boot. They collide in midair. Vicky slaps Ryder as he fell to the bottom rope. Referee caught this and orders Vicky to the back. Jackman then hits Ziggler with the right hand, which was way off, because he had to stretch so far just to even get to Ziggler. And when Ziggler was in the back, he was holding the other side of his jaw. Like, punch, It feels it over here. Okay. Like I said, Ryder fights back, but Ziggler takes control. Ziggler slaps Ryder around in the corner, but runs into a big boot. They collide, and Vicky slapped Ryder. Referee ordered her to the back. Ziggler hit the right hand while the referee is looking, allowing Ryder to get the Rough Rider and a pin. If you're not familiar with Zack's finisher, Rough Rider is a side leg drop in midair. Miz and R-Truth versus CM Punk and John Cena. They go to the ring and out comes Miz and R-Truth, who was rapping his. He changed his words to "You Suck" instead of his actual "What's Up" song. What's up? What's up? What's up? similar to Kurt Angle's use version, where they go to commercial before their opponents come out. Back from the break, and out first comes CM Punk, followed by John Cena, who's your WWE champion. Miz starts things off after Miz shakes the referee's hand. Miz attacks, but Cena stops him. Cena works Miz over for a minute and then tags in Punk. They hit a double hip toss. Punk kicks Miz in the head and covers for a 2. Miz fights Punk off, tags in Truth. Punk takes down Truth and hits a bridge suplex for a 2. That was pretty cool. Truth comes, the bridge suplex, it's kind of like the Northern Light suplex, but no head underneath. He grabbed Truth's belt and flipped him backwards with a suplex with the bridge. Cena goes for an attitude adjustment, but Miz blocks it and drops for a 2. Back to commercial they go. Punk turns it around and tags in Cena when they came back. I say, whoa. I skipped somewhere. Punk takes Truth and hits the suplex for the 2. Truth comes back now for right hands and kicks back Punk into the corner, into the ropes. Punk then turns it around, tags in Cena for a bit of double teaming and a 2 count. Truth makes the tag to Miz now. Then they go to lock up, but takes Miz down. Miz pushes him off. Cena goes for an attitude adjustment, but Miz blocks it and drops him for a 2. Back to commercial. Back from break, and Miz kicks Cena in the head for a 2 count. Miz hits a back breaker and a neck breaker for a 2. Miz starts to argue with the referee, but Truth comes in and stops him. Miz stops Cena from tagging and makes a tag to Truth. Truth comes in and covers Cena for a 2. Truth with a headlock now. Cena suplexes Truth and breaks free. Cena goes for a tag, but Truth stops him with a clothesline. Truth tags in Miz, who stomps away on Cena. Miz with more kicks to Cena. Truth. Miz bounces around the ring, punches and kicks to Cena. Cena comes back and slams Miz out of nowhere. Miz tags in Truth and stops Cena from tagging, bringing him to their corner and pushing him to the apron. Truth waits on Cena to get up and rocks him with a right hand for another pin attempt. Miz comes back in and beats Cena down in the corner. Cena makes a comeback, knocks Truth off the apron. Miz stops the comeback with a clothesline. Miz runs for a clothesline in the corner, but Cena moves out of the way. Cena finally makes a tag to CM Punk. Punk hits Miz with a clothesline and a drop kick. Truth comes in, but Punk drops him on his head. Punk hits the high knee on Miz. And the Bulldog. Punk springboards in with a clothesline on Punk. Punk goes for the DTS on Miz, but he fights out. Miz charges and almost hits Truth. Punk almost hits Truth as Punk ducked. Punk hits the GTS on Miz for the pin and a win. After Punk turned back around and pushed Miz right back into the Truth to make him fall off the apron. And then he got the GTS for the pin and a win. After the match, Cena raises Punk's arm when Triple H's music hits and out he comes. Triple H apologizes for interrupting their celebration. He tells Punk that was a good match. Then he tells Miz and R-Truth, "You're fired." Truth and Miz look up from ringside shocked. They run up the ramp and to the back where we see the entire locker room watching on monitors. All from they're all sitting in chairs. Triple H walks back when Scott Stanford stops him for a word. The Miz and Truth attack Triple H from behind, beating him down in front of the locker room. But the locker room was just backstage area, and the entire roster, whoever was there, was breaking them up. Well, Superstars made to say throw Miz and R-Truth out of the building, but there was only 2 guys. You saw it was Jack Swagger, and I couldn't see the other person, but I did see Brodus Clay throwing them through the first set of doors. So that was the ending, the Raw thing, and say what else the internet was saying about it. Triple H is walking back through the Superstars. He's headed to the other way. And on his way back, he stares down John Laurinaitis just as he's going like this. He continues to walk. So he should be watching the videos from last night's pay-per-view. And he should be firing John Laurinaitis instead. So he's the one that texted Kevin Nash from his cell phone. Well, anyways, okay, Triple H walked on up past the hallways, tries to knock over some cases, but they don't fall. As Raw goes off the air, and that's the end of my taping. See y'all tomorrow night with your SmackDown and your Internet Superstars and your Internet other program.